Hey, everyone. Welcome to Tea Time with Melissa Freeman. And so today I'm just doing a continuation about red flags. Yes, you heard me right, red flags. And if you did not watch the last show, you need to watch it. In that show, I give you and I lay down that foundation before even diving into red flags, and you need to hear that. But for those who did miss the show, let me just put this out there. If you are dating, you are not dating, you're interviewing. You're getting to know that person. You want to know if they're worthy of your time, worthy of a second, third, fourth date. If they'll be a good fit in 2 or 3 years. Like, do they have the same belief system you have? Is this someone you can grow with? Like, these are the things you're looking for when you are interviewing. It's not dating, it's interviewing. And I also lay the foundation of talking about my acronym FLAG. So F, what do you feel? L, listen to what the person's saying or not saying. A, what are their actions? G, generate data, like for a long time. Generate some data. And then S, what do you see? That's it. That's the foundation. What do you see? And really focus on those things and ask God to help you see the red flags. Red flags means it's something you should see that you don't see, or other people can see it, but you are unaware of these things that's right in front of you. So keep that in mind as we go down the line of 6 major red flags. Flags and more flags. Let's go over that today. So we're going to go right, and I'm going to give you 7 red major flags that many people overlook. If you are out on your interview or dating, as what people want to call it, and you are talking about your issues, you are talking about the things that's taking place in your life that are stressing you out or bringing you to a place where you don't feel settled in your life, and you're talking about these things and you're being genuine and you're being yourself, and he or she decides this conversation is going to go from you to me because my issues are more important, and right now, like, that's nice, you're going through that, but let's talk about my stuff. That's a red flag. So I'll give you an example. Let's say you come in, you're like, my boss is getting on my last nerve. She's asking me to do A, B, C, D. I'm becoming overwhelmed. I'm stressed out. I need a raise, or they need to take things off my plate. I have too many duties. And then while you're like even talking, he's like, or she's like, yeah, I'm dealing with the same thing. And then the conversation stays about them and never comes back to you. So I'm not saying they don't express how they feel and what they're going through or can relate. I'm saying that the conversation goes to them and it never comes back to you. When you originally started the conversation, and you probably started it because you needed to get some things off your chest and you wanted someone to actually listen to you. Red flag. That's telling you every time you get together with this person, or most of the time when you get together with this person, if they got their own stuff going on, it doesn't matter if you come to them with your stuff, because they're going to eventually make the conversation about them, and you never have those opportunities to lay things out, to talk about things, to consult the person that you are interviewing, or just like grow, right? Don't we grow by talking about our issues and being able to have someone listen to us? Because then they get to know us if they're really listening. And if you're missing all those things, there's going to be a gap in your interview process. And so that is definitely a red flag. You got issues, you're talking about your stuff, and that person always wants to bring it back to them and never come back to what your original statement of what you're going through and how they're listening or how they're going to help you problem solve. Yeah, you got some issues. That means that no matter what you go through, it's always going to be about that person. Doesn't matter what you go through, it's always going to be that person's issues that's going to take precedent in your relationship or marriage if you stay with the person. Red flags, they're all in our face. We just don't see them. All right, moving on. If you're dating for a long time, but you never meet the family, like never, And let me put a time on long time, because some people think long time means like 3 months. That's not a long time. Some people think long time means 6 months. That's not a long time. But if you're with the person for like a year and you haven't met the family, and I'm not saying they have to ask you to come to like Christmas and Thanksgiving celebrations, but you didn't meet the sister, or at least the brother, like, something's not right. Something's not right. What are they hiding? Why don't they want you to get to know their family? Why don't they want their family to meet you? Like, something's not right. And many times we overlook that one because we have in our mind, I'm still interviewing. And yes, while you're interviewing, you want to go further. You don't want to stay at just getting to know them. You want to get to know their family, because when you get to know their family, you get to know more of who they are. So keep that in mind. You need to meet the family. Who is this person's family? How did they grow up? How do they act when they're all together? Like, those are important things to learn when you're interviewing. So it's a red flag to me if you don't want me to meet anybody. Like, I haven't even talked to them over the phone, at least. Yeah, red flag. Just look into that a little bit more and figure out what's happening. All right, another red flag, which is an obvious one, lying. You're dealing with this person, he or she, they lie about stuff they don't even need to lie about. Why are you lying? Why you gotta lie? What you lying? Why? It's a red flag, people. Don't wait for the third, fourth, and fifth lie to then say, oh, he's a liar or she's a liar. Like, they've been lying to you since day one. You just was ignoring those lies. But everyone says this about lies, and it's true. You say one lie, and to cover up that one lie, you got to say another lie, and then it keeps going because now I got to cover up those two lies, so now I got to lie again. So if the person lies one time, rest assured you're going to hear other lies, and it's a red flag. This person's not honest. They can't be trusted. So many layers of someone who lies. Be careful. Red flag, people. Let's see. What's another one I wanted to say? They call all their exes crazy. All their exes crazy. Every last one of them was crazy. They all crazy? All of them? So you telling me everybody you dated was crazy? That's a red flag. That shows that not one time did they take responsibility of anything that happened in those relationships. Not one time did they reflect and try to figure out why it didn't work. Not one time did they sit back and just look at all of their relationships, not just one, and say, I'm always saying they all crazy. Is it really they're all crazy, or I just don't like when I'm put in my place? Is it really they're all crazy, or I just can't deal with a strong woman or a strong man? Is it really they're all crazy, or am I the crazy one? Is it me? Is it me? They say every time you turn and you take your finger and you want to point at somebody, you literally pointing at yourself, and you don't even recognize, like, you need to be looking in the mirror. You need to reflect. So everybody's crazy? No, at some point it's you, and they haven't taken the time to reflect and look and pay attention. So yeah, red flag. Everyone's not crazy. And if you're saying everyone's crazy that you dealt with, yeah, something's wrong. Red flag, people. Red flag. All right. Then let's go to non-resolution friendships or relationships is a red flag. And this also includes family. If they got beef, they always got issues with their family. They always got issues with everybody they dated. They always got issues with every boss they've had. They've always got issues with associates, friends, like all the time. At some point, they have not taken the time to find resolutions. And the only way you get to that alley or that road of resolution is to also come back, step back, take observation of the situation, reflect. What took place? What happened? What did I say? What did they say? Where were we? How was I feeling? What happened before that? What happened after that? How did I handle it? Did anyone apologize? Did I apologize? I was wrong. Did I say sorry? It's showing you that they don't get to that road of resolution because they never reflect. They never resolve any of the issues they've had with family, with coworkers, with associates, with friends, and therefore it always ends messy. Non-resolution people are scary people to deal with because everyone that they deal with, not just their exes are crazy, but everyone they deal with, it's them. Red flag, pay attention to that. That they don't know how to have an ending result that was so positive and peaceful that it looked like it didn't even happen. Like you wouldn't even know like there was issues because there was resolutions and they reflected and they stepped back and they took time to make sure that they were making themselves a better person when it came to friendships or relationships. And when you don't do that, you got issues with everyone. Put it like that. You got issues with everyone because you never took the time. You shouldn't have issues with everyone. The Bible says, blessed are the peacemakers. Blessed are the peacemakers. And God will smile down upon them because they kept peace. Can you keep peace in the relationships or friendships you have? Is there peace? There should be peace. You should be able to bump into an ex-boyfriend or girlfriend and you're like, how you doing? And everything's good because it didn't end messy, right? All families have issues and disagreements and misunderstandings, but there should be like some resolution so that even when you come meet the family, like you have no idea that those two sisters had an issue last year or those two brothers had it. Like you don't, because they took the time to work on that, to make it better. And they looked at, that's my sister, that's my brother, I love them. And so when you see people don't have the time to work out issues, yeah, that's a red flag because that means they ain't gonna work it out with you either. They can't work it out with their family. They ain't gonna work it out with you. If they can't keep a job because they're telling their bosses off, they ain't gonna work it out with you. They're just gonna tell you off and keep it moving. Like, I'm sorry. Red flag. Red flag. Red flag. Red flag. I know I'm kind of late saying this, but if you haven't subscribed, follow me, share, do what you got to do. You want to keep updated with what's going on. All right. You want to make sure you are hearing it all. So I am going to give you my last one. Last but not least, and as always, I'm doing this because I want you to get it. I want you to get it. Red flags. I'm on my last one. Listen, consistency. If you look at who you're interviewing and they are consistent, you're good. Maybe. You'll see as you generate data. But if they are inconsistent, I'm sorry. Hello, somebody. There's an issue. Did you notice in the show that I was so inconsistent with my background? This is my third background. Did you notice? Even though that they were pleasant and they looked nice and they looked different, that it wasn't consistent. Like no consistency there. Did you overlook that? Did you, when you see me on my patio, were you like, oh, that's nice, she's outside today? And then when I switched up and was like, let me do this cute background, that you were like, oh, that's cute. She just wanted different scenery. That's cute. And then when I'm back here where I usually start, you're like, oh, okay, she just wanted to be back where, she usually starts. Is that like what went on in your head? Like what happened? Did you notice that I was inconsistent? Because the backgrounds were so, you could say, organized or pleasant to look at. That's how it is in a relationship. Things can be or when you're interviewing, let me switch that. When you're interviewing, or if you decide to commit and you're in a relationship, they are so inconsistent, but their inconsistency looks nice, that you overlook that they have this pattern of being inconsistent. Red flag. You want someone who is consistent. You want someone who decides, I'm going to pay my bills all the time. Not sometime when I don't feel like it. You want someone who's like, I want to live for God. And I want to live for God all the time, but not when I'm stressed out, then I don't feel like it. Inconsistency is such a red flag, and it simply just means that you have a pattern that's never the same, which you're not really getting to know the person to the fullest, because they're always like, it's something different all the time. It's something different. It's something different. And it's like, you really need to know who that person is. Who is this person? Consistency is so important. And then consistency also brings trust. It brings understanding. And it brings that like relationship closer, because I know this person. You're inconsistent. It's hard for me to figure out what you like. Do you like to be on the patio, Melissa? Do you like to just have a background with a lamp and a flower? Do you like this gray background you have? Like, what do you like, Melissa? Like, you shouldn't have to watch my show and be confused about who I am if you're following me. So it is if you're interviewing. They should be consistent, that you're getting to know them and who they are. And even though it looks good and it looks pleasant and it looks nice and it looks organized, don't overlook that red flag. Please, don't overlook that red flag. All right, so listen, I will be back on next week. I'm going to invite my people on to talk more about red flags, because we want y'all to just generate your list of red flags. Write them down. So as you're interviewing, you can be aware of those things called red flags. So I will be back. Thank you for joining me. Subscribe, share, write some red flags you know about that you've been through that I haven't talked about yet. Go ahead, put it in the chat. Put it in there. All right. And I will see everyone later. Have a blessed day.